Hello, I'm Mrs. Strauss, Farley's general music and fourth grade chorus teacher. I'm just going to be reading what I have here. I have been teaching here since 2009 and in the process got married to my husband Lee and had two kids, Ellis, who's 7, and Finn, who'll be turning 4 in November. I have studied voice all of my life and continued at the Berklee College of Music where I met my husband, and after graduating, moved on to the Boston Conservatory where I received my master's in music ed. I've been teaching in Hudson ever since, and I've been loving it. So let's move on, if I can figure it out. All right, the music room. So here's a little virtual video, and I'll just narrate for you. It's something I do well. All right, so starting in the hallway, that was my bulletin board, and here's entering our classroom, and this is how the kids enter too. Those are my music rules. Here's my take a break desk if anyone needs a minute. There's the music rules again. We'll go over those in a little bit. I have a bulletin board with lots of information. Music makes life colorful. Got some different posters on the wall of all the music families which we learn about. Back in the corner, we keep our folders. We have instruments, all different percussive instruments. There's my disc. On the door there, we have our behavior chart, and that's our projector screen. And that's it. And you can see all the kids' spots. There's paw prints, and they're divided up into different colored groups, and that's where they sit. And so here's the music room. All right, so let's keep going. No, not like that. There we go. All right, so here are our music rules. Just stick me over here. So you can see that the music rules, which we went over the first couple of weeks of school, they spell the word music. Make good choices, use kind words, show respect to classmates, teacher, and music, involve yourself, and care for our room and instruments. And so they're all very basic. I'm sure you can follow. Each one had a song to go along, so you could ask your child if they remember the song. They may. But I'll keep going. All right, so kindergarten. In kindergarten, we sing songs through the alphabet while learning about different things. And so when I say sing songs about the alphabet, we started on letter A. For example, we did the song Alligator Alarm for letter A. And we were working on steady beat in that song, and also using our singing voices. So some other things that we learned through singing songs through the alphabet: steady beat, tempo, which is how fast and slow music is. Instruments, we learn about the instrument families. We also play percussive instruments. We talk about high and low, rhythm, singing, and composers. We even learn about some composers in kindergarten. All right, moving on to first grade. I keep blocking all the pictures here. In first grade, it says we're learning different musical concepts while listening to Camille Saint-Saëns' The Carnival of the Animals. So in Camille Saint-Saëns' The Carnival of the Animals, there are 14 pieces, and each one is kind of teaching a different concept, or at least that's how I'm teaching it. And so you can see some of the things carry over from kindergarten: steady beat, high and low, instruments and their families, articulation such as staccato and legato, which is like short and long sounding. We have rhythm, singing and solfege, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Conducting, they begin learning conducting. I believe we do 2 pattern, and I believe we even get into the 3 pattern, which we really get into in 3rd grade. So tempo, which is the speed of the beat, largo, andante, allegro, and presto are some of the words we learn. All right, next, 2nd grade. 2nd grade, here are some of the music units that we do. We start the year off with a rhythm review and composing and performing. We actually already started, and we've been using popsicle sticks to create some stick rhythms. Then we get into instruments of the orchestra, focusing on each family's characteristics and how each instrument produces sound. You can see we have our setup of the orchestra. Then we get into a composition called Peter and the Wolf by Sergei Prokofiev. And we listen to the whole thing, of course. It tells a story while each character represents an instrument and a leitmotif, which is a theme. And then we watch the movie at the end to kind of compare and contrast from the story that was told by a narrator. Finally, we get into music from around the world. And so the countries that I picked out from each of the continents, we have Mexico, Brazil, Greece, Kenya, China, and Australia. And we don't do anything from Antarctica, but we do mention it. So next, third grade. All right, so third grade, we also begin with a rhythm review and composing and performing. Here we really get into conducting. 4/4 is always fun because we listen to some music of their choice, which a lot of songs are in that common time, 4/4, and we actually conduct their songs that they love in 4/4 time. We also create rhythms and write pieces of music that are in these different time signatures, 3/4 and 2/4. Classical music periods and composers is something that we start learning about throughout the whole school year in third grade and fourth grade. So we focus on 4 different periods: Baroque, classical, romantic, and the modern/contemporary period. That's kind of a long period of time, but it's kind of how we're generalizing it. And we'll learn about a different composer from each of those periods. Even though there are many, I had to decide. In fourth grade, we continue on with different ones. So then we also learn about the pitches on the musical staff. And this is when they begin playing. It used to be recorder, but this year we're continuing on with the glockenspiel since it's not an air wind instrument. So they use these blue glockenspiels that I modified by putting on colored circles. And they match this Prodigy's site that uses red, orange, yellow, and so on. And so I put the little stickers on the glockenspiel so that they can have success matching the letters in case if reading the black and white notes is a challenge. So that's third grade. And finally, fourth grade. Like the other grades, we start the year off with a rhythm and pitch review. Composition and performance, they do a lot of this in fourth grade. We start off with the body percussion ostinato unit. An ostinato is a repeated pattern, and they are performing and creating different ones. Crow Music Lab is actually, there's an example of it. You may have seen this before. It's a website, and we use Songmaker to create ostinatos. You can see the rhythm is below. And then these same colors match the colors that were used on the glockenspiel, and they play different pitches. So they use that. And I made a unit last year where we actually composed music for a video game. We did Mario Brothers last year where they were given a segment, like a clip, and then they had to create the score for it. So they would use that app to do it. Well, we may use Mario Brothers this year, or we might change it up. Finally, we do a rhythm composition using this software called Noteflight. Everyone will have a free account. Finally, it's year 2 of classical music periods and composers, focusing on the same periods, but just different composers this year to expand their repertoire. So that's that. Now we have Style of the Month. This is something I started this year. Last year was Song of the Month. This year is Style of the Month. And so we started the year off with pop. Pop is nice because it can be any style, really, as long as it's popular music. I told the kids it's whatever you basically hear on the radio and that a lot of people like, and it has the most hits. And so some kids even went home and talked to their parents about it, which is what I want to happen, so that they can come back to school and say, oh, my parents' favorite pop song is this back when they were my age. And so I've had some students come back with some songs. We've had some AC/DC brought in. We've had some Beatles. We've had, I think even Patsy Cline came in. So a lot of interesting things that people are bringing in. So we've been learning about, just as an example, we did the Beatles, Let It Be. Michael Jackson, we did Beat It. And we've, of course, had to learn the dances too. And we also got into Elvis Presley. Jailhouse Rock was the song that I just used as an example. We're doing Madonna, Holiday, and let's see. I had to put in a diva, so I put in Mariah Carey, but I think I might also slip in Whitney Houston because, You just have to. So that's what I've been using for pop. And then, of course, the kids give all their suggestions, which are, the top hits on the current radio. So it's not like those are getting left out, but I'm trying to give the oldies in there as well. So you can see the other styles of music. I am going to try to connect with families so that they have an opportunity to know what we're learning about, so that you can send in a note saying about maybe your favorite songs. We can add it to our playlist, because I'm using Apple Music and we have a subscription here at Farley. So we're able to kind of get any song. And of course, we check it for lyrics before letting everyone hear it. So that's that. I'm sorry I'm chatty, but I want you to feel involved because there's lots of fun styles here. All right, here's my contact information. My phone number for school to get to the music room is there with my extension, my email. And then my virtual music classroom is actually, you can't really get it here, but if I click it, so here is my virtual music website. And this is something that the students used last year. We used it in class, and then students could also use it at home. It's still a fun tool to have. We like to check out the pink microphone. The books are all music related. And yeah, so there's a ton of things here. You can access this by getting it from my website on the computer lab site or the school website. It's also in my email. So if you ever send me an email, it's linked at the bottom. So feel free to check that out. So back to this. I just wanted to say hi. Nice to meet you. Looking forward to a great year. And that's it. Reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye.